Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors due to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect. All right. And this video right here is going to be uh about the third witness. Okay. Now, Elder Yashawamba of Great Millstone, Dallas, Remnant Saved 144. I know brothers are pretty familiar with his page, but for the younger, Akim coming in and few Aquath that are listening as well, you know, um, subscribe and be edified. Remnant Save 144. But he brought up a talking point. Well, a point through the spirit. I don't know if he's the first one with it, but he's the first one I heard it from. Basically, the third witness. Okay, and when you go into the scriptures talk about two witnesses. Okay, on a macro level or on a large level. Um, okay. And then on a macro level, it is talking about the northern and the southern kingdom. Okay, the elect or the the prophets of the northern and southern kingdoms. Okay. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, the southern kingdom, and Ephraim on down to Issachar, as we like to say. All right, the northern kingdom. So without further ado, I'm gonna read this and then get into the scriptures. Well, read this and get into the subject. This is Revelation chapter 11 and verse 1. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood saying, Rise and measure the temple of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua and the altar and them that worship therein. Now, before I get to it, on a macro level, on a micro level, okay, on a lesser level, smaller level, but basically actually, on the macro level, okay, on the bigger scale, it's talking about Joshua and Zerubbabel. But on a micro level, Slacky, on a micro level, I used them wrong. A smaller scale, basically to condense it, is talking about the northern and the southern kingdoms, respectively, Salakia, or collectively, Salakia. So, and you can tell that it's talking about Joshua and Zerubbabel, the ones that were overseeing the building of the second temple. Okay, you know, during the times of the Medes and the Medio Persian captivity. All right, uh, okay, was basically the Joshua and Zerubbabel. Okay, you can tell because it's talking about reed and the measuring of the temple, right? So, verse 2, but the court which is without the temple leave out and measure it not, for it's given unto the Gentiles. And the holy city shall they tread under foot 40 and 2 months. So, basically, this is a future. This is the prophecy that happened. Basically, these Gentiles, is talking about basically the Roman Empire. So, to say, Slakia. All right. And the basically the heathen, the Gentiles. Verse 3, and I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,263 days, all right, clothed in sackcloth. These are the two olive trees and the two candlesticks standing before the power of the earth. So there you go. Okay. Joshua Zerubbabel on the macro level, but on the micro level, micro level, okay, the northern and southern kingdom. Okay, and you also see a hint of that with Joshua and Caleb. Okay, Joshua being of the tribe of Ephraim. Okay, the two witnesses or that had a good report. Okay, Joshua was a Ephraimite, and Caleb or Caleb, all right, was a Judite. All right. So, yeah, so there you go right there. And how it's talking about the prophets or the elect of these two of the two northern and southern kingdoms. If any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth and devoureth their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. So the Lord has, love for his elect, and he's gonna watch over them until that point. Okay, well, the enemy shall come in as a flood, and the Lord's gonna rise up a standard against him. All right, so the Lord's gonna have to interject. It's gonna get so bad. But there you go. Okay. But the third witness that I'm talking about, and also before I get to it, there is laws, okay, around having two or three witnesses, all right, to actually, you know, substantiate a claim by someone. Okay. So let's go into Salaki, let's go into the book of Deuteronomy, and I hope this is making sense. I'm easing up to it, you know. Deuteronomy 19 and 15, so we can get the whole context of this. One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity, or for any sin, and any sin that he sinneth. At the mouth of two witnesses, or at the mouth of three witnesses, shall the matter be established. So that's the way that the Lord set it up, because a man can lie. All right, someone that believes that they're right in their own power or might, or if they just want to create a lie, can say, "Hey, this happened," and we've seen that happen, many times. Okay, this happened. Look at the woman that was in the garden, and them two old so-called elder niggas tried to, take her. Was it Susanna? I believe. Um, yeah, and she cried out, and basically, the two witnesses was against her, but they were false witnesses. Okay, but the Lord, saved her, out of that. Um, but anyway, that and they knew that that rule that was set up, so to say, all right, in the mouth of two witnesses, all right, the commandment. Okay. And but they just use it for weakness, but the Lord saved her out of there. One witness shall not rise up against a man for iniquity or for any sin, and any sin that he sinneth. At the mouth of two witnesses or at the mouth of three witnesses shall the matter be established. If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him, which is wrong, then both the men between whom the controversy is shall stand before the Lord, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh shall before the priests and the judges, which shall be in those days. All right. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witness be a false witness, and have testified falsely against his brother, then shall ye do unto him as he had thought to have done unto his brother. So shalt thou put the evil away from among you. Okay, and we see that in many cases. We saw that with Haman, okay, trying to trump up and bear false witness against us to destroy us as a nation. All right, and he's doing it now, coming back. So here we go. Um, let's go to the book of Matthew. All right, our Lord even said it. Slakia. Matthew 18 and 16. But if he will not, Slakia, verse 15, but moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not hear thee, then take thee with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of two or three witnesses every word may be established. So the mouth of two or three witnesses, and the southern and northern kingdoms, the elect of the southern and the northern kingdoms are those two witnesses. But we also have that third witness, okay, which is Esau Edom, coming up against coming up against his tribe. All right. Second Corinthians 13. This is the third time I'm coming to you. In the mouth of two or three witnesses shall every word be established. Okay, so there you go. All right, so let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. So this is the end all be all. This is the end result. All right. This is the end result of America or Babylon the Great, the whole power structure. Okay, the revised Roman Empire. Okay, this is it. Okay, the revised Western Roman Empire. This is it. Okay, y'all are, the Lord's gonna totally destroy you with destruction that we will be talking about in the kingdom. A destruction that has never ever happened before. It's gonna be on that scale, man, of biblical proportions. you know, take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Verse 2 in the NLT, take heavy millstones and grind flour, remove your veil and strip off your robe, expose yourself to public view. And that's what these so-called truthers, these insiders are doing. They're coming up against their own people. And of course, you got Candace Owens and different ones that are of, the Israelite ethnicity, or so-called Black, Latino, or Native American. But hey, that's what they're supposed to. But I'm pinpointing the third witness, which is the heathen themselves, you know, telling on each other. Okay, and that's how you know that this is the end, because the Lord said that a kingdom cannot stand. Okay, if they be against each other, roughly paraphrasing. So Verse 3, the nakedness, all right, their shame, their nakedness, how they got America, how through lies, robbery, deceit. Okay, this shame, it shall be shameful spewing on thy glory. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So there you go. Okay, the Lord is ousting this devil, and he's using his own people, the devil's own people, okay, to bring them down. And that's how you know that this kingdom cannot stand, because you got so-called white people ousting the so-called white man. Psalms 64. So that they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away, and all men shall fear and shall declare the work of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. All right, so the Lord is making his own their own tongues to fall upon themselves. They're ousting everything about this Epstein thing, about Kill Gates, all right, the Clintons, hey man, it's a total shit show, but we love it, man. Okay, y'all pointing the finger at each other, and y'all are both you're all guilty at the end of the day. It's like watching two guilty parties, the three guilty parties, point the finger at each other. All right, the two guilty parties just pointing a finger at each other, and accuse each other and lie and lie and lie, when you knowing that the hammer's about to come down on both of them, and you're innocent bystander just sitting there with your popcorn. And that's how the men of the Lord are. We're watching them, Lord willing, I'll be a part of that number, watching them, snitch on each other, tell on each other, okay, and y'all are gonna get the same punishment, a grand ass whipping by who? The Father. Right. So, I got a couple more. This is Isaiah 19. And I'm gonna start at the top. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. All right, the burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh shall rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And the Egyptians I will give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah of hosts. So we believe that that fierce king is DT 47. Okay. And he's coming back as Nero. Well, he was Nero, and he's coming back as DT 47, doing the same things he's done. And hey, if you know about Nero, he's hey, his wickedness, has not been brought to light yet. Okay. And he's gonna crash out just as the old Nero, the Nero of late. Okay, the Nero of the Romans, all right, the Emperor Nero. So, yeah, we set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, man. All right. And the Lord's just going to destroy everything in his coming, man. That's what we're waiting, That's what we're waiting on. That's what we're patiently waiting on. All right. And hastening his coming by what? Doing these videos, doing what we have to do, the street ministry, okay, and everything else. Mark 3 and 23, and called them unto him, and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? If a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. So, we go into Satan does have a seed on the planet Earth, okay, in the form of a man, in a form of race of people, and then Esau Edom, the so-called whitey people, the self-proclaimed white man, okay, because there's nothing white about him, but they're going against each other, man. Okay, and so we know that this place is on the way out. We love how the Lord is doing it, okay, and He's having it to where, even so-called brethren. All right, Esau is just against Esau, man. This is beautiful, and hey, we know that the end result is that their house is gonna fall. So I'm gonna give all praises honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodash. Double honors due to the apostle, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. And peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect out there. Shalom.